Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Korok Seed Master Mode Challenge. Today, we are going to be running, well, all over the place, trying to collect another 20 seeds for our adventure. So let's jump right into it. And as we do, make sure you check to see if you're subscribed. And if you're not, please take a moment and do so, as there's content coming to you on a daily basis. And if you found this video enjoyable or helpful, feel free to hit that like button. So the first seed that we're going after is in this encampment area. And looking back, I probably should have taken a moment to access the tower that's right there in the background as well. But we'll have to get that in a different episode, as we are taking off to a very different part of the map in today's video, which is going to be up behind the Akala Fortress. So the remaining 19 seeds will be out in that general direction. Seed number 482 of our overall adventure is going to be this rock that's hanging out underneath the bridge. We'll want to lift it up off of this poor little guy's head, though he is managing to stay a little bit drier when compared to others of his buddies that are hanging around out here. So drop the rock back down on top of him and continue on to seed number 483. Which is going to be another rock shoot challenge here. You could probably do so with the Cryonis rune, but you can also just walk up to the edge of this cliff and toss it in without any adverse effects on the collection of the seed from this spot. Just a short walk over from where we just came from, we have seed number 484, which is going to be an apple that we plop down into this dish. That grants us the seed from this spot, and honestly, we hadn't seen one of those in a minute or so, so it's good to see that that has made its return as well. Seed number 485 is another tree that we'll need to climb and collect some of the apples off of. I had gotten one previous, and as you can tell from the debris scattered around here, I'd had a scuffle with a couple of Stalazalfos, but after taking them out, we were able to return to this tree and finish up our collection of it. I had thought I'd remembered in the past that I can just barely climb up into the canopy of that tree without needing to accelerated climb, but at the end of the day, we made our way up there, jumped out of the edge, and grabbed the apple off of the remaining branch to grab the seed from here. And then, of course, there's 3 extra apples that you want to grab before taking off from there. Seed number 486 was one that confused me a little bit, because there's generally 5 of these, and it took me a while and a lap around this area, but the 5 cluster of flowers is up in the branches of that tree for whatever reason. I also didn't take any time to unlock this fairy fountain because, well, didn't want to and probably didn't have the money either. Seed number 487 is going to be this rock on top of this ruined structure, though we do need to make sure that we cover this guy up a little bit because there is a guardian prowling around in the background, and he is just a recipe for trouble. You can see him shuffling there in the background there. Seed number 489 is a pattern puzzle that is just around the bend from this, and a short walk away from the actual circle the rock is hiding inside a couple of bushes. That seems to be pretty standard when it comes to looking for rocks for these patterns. If they're not just lying out in the open, they tend to be tucked behind a bush or otherwise occulted from view. But we grabbed it, and that's going to grant us the seed from here, which means we can move right along to seed number 489, which is a set of flowers that gradually makes its way down off the side of this bridge. So be cautious with that as you make your way down, but don't worry, because as you may be aware, as soon as you finish out these flower trails and collect the final flower, or collect any Korok seed in general, you do automatically receive a refresh to your stamina. So grabbing this final flower down here from the bottom will provide us more than enough stamina that we need to make our way back up to the top of that bridge and safely continue on to collect seed number 490, which was a little bit of a trying time trial because it runs a little bit fast and you need to eventually make your way up to the top of this pillar and then jump and glide into the circle out suspended in the air. And as you saw there, we were just at the end of that timer, and it did take me a couple of tries to get that, but we knocked it out. So that is all we needed to be concerned about with this one. Seed number 491, I think, is the longest flower puzzle or flower trail that we need to follow, and it's just from the neighboring area of where we just collected the last seed. So we'll want to gradually run our way down this path. I actually think that this would be a fun little mini game to challenge yourself to, in terms of can you do it while shield surfing, but I wasn't in the mood to test that out today, so maybe in a future video we will look into the feasibility of collecting the Korok seed from this spot in one single run on a shield surf. But as we continue to make our way down, it seems to be a little more optimal to glide your way down to the base, and you do need to continue even through this structure. I think there's 6 or 7 different areas where you need to grab those flowers and continue through, and that's not even the last one there, as there's one final flower over on the other side of this reflection pool. So as soon as we arrive at this destination, we can collect a seed for a very well-earned puzzle, or distance traveled-wise, and progress over to seed number 492, which is next to the end area of this puzzle we just did. We'll need to grab this block from the top of the ruin structure and plop it into place. I thought it might have gone there, but generally these are a term of mirror mimicry. So as you can see with the block on the far side, we just need to make it mirrored match instead of direct match across. And that grants us the seed from this spot, which then takes us to seed number 493. Now, if you're running this traditionally, then you can run the orb that you caught a glimpse of in the previous segment and run it out to unlock the shrine that's located here. But we're not doing things that way, so we will want to light the pile of leaves on fire, burn them out of the way, and then grab the rock from off the top of this guy's head. And then swiftly run and take some cover behind this pillar before the Octoroks take us out with their projectiles. Seed number 494 is a much easier archery puzzle than some of the ones we've seen previously. They tend to cycle around the exact same area, though the middle one you'll have to adjust your aim a little bit, and for the other two, as soon as you hone in on the common area pattern for one, you just need to time out the sequence in which it is flying and loose your arrows accordingly. That gets us that seed, and I quite like the archery puzzles and the uniqueness that they bring to bear as well. Seed number 495 is a little bit of some tight timing, and I think you're meant to run or have high amounts of stamina for this, but because of the whistle run glitch, we can actually make our way there in little to no time at all. And we actually have quite a bit more time to spare than we otherwise would if we were to do traditional stamina running. So, not too shabby on that front, and really happy with how well that worked out in our favor when it comes to grabbing this seed from this spot here. Seed 496 is another pattern. This one is pretty simple, where it's just off to the edge here, and you walk it in a straight line to the hole in the sequence of the pattern on the ground. And the next few are actually going to be out down towards the ocean. We have a magnesis block that we need to pick up and slide into the adjoining puzzle. I wasn't able to find the complementary piece to this, so I just took a couple of guesses. Odds are it was going to be one of the notches in the longer segment here, and as it turns out, it was indeed. It was just the one closer to the top of that, which I figure out here in about 2 seconds. And there we are. We slide it right on over and plop it into the correct locale there to grab the seed from this spot. And now we come to the point of the video where we have the thumbnail segment, because as I was running along a cliffside to avoid a guardian down below, I noticed that there is quite a beautiful sunrise that happens, and it happens a lot earlier than I thought that it would. If you look at the time, it's 4 o'clock in the morning, but maybe that's what it's like down by the sea. I wouldn't know. Seed number 498 is another set of flowers that you'll need to collect in the proper sequence. I'm gingerly going around them because, as you can see, there is a guardian wandering around in the background, and I don't want to have to fight him if I don't have to. So we grab the 2 on that rock, come over to grab the 3 on this one, and then flower clusters 4 and 5 are both over here. Do be advised that there are a couple of these little stone children things. I don't know what their technical name is. but they are wandering around, so you might want to keep your distance as you get closer to the end segment here. Seed number 499 is hiding underneath a giant stone slab, which we will tactfully lift off with a couple of Octorok balloons. We haven't used those in a hot minute either, but that allows us the seed from this spot, and of course we've got to provide this guy with some shelter, because, well, there's a guardian perusing, and even though this guy has his own secluded island, you can never be too careful. And seed number 500 of our adventure is behind this blast wall, and it's just a little rock that we're going to have to prop up off the bottom there. And that is all for today's video. So again, if you found this helpful or enjoyable, feel free to hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more daily content. With all that being said, thanks again for watching. I hope that you have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day.